Hi guys. So I've been wanting to do this video for the longest time. It's about something that has become very important to me. I didn't used to know anything about animal testing and cruelty-free brand versus brands that were tested on animals, and I didn't really know the content in what animal testing really were and how much animals were actually hurting. I didn't really know anything about it. It wasn't anything that was too important to me. And I've never been like a super animal lover or anything, but as I have become more aware of it, I feel like I don't have the conscience to not care. So I guess this whole obsession with going cruelty-free started when I started watching this YouTuber called Lisalilleseth. She's not really active anymore, but she made some awesome videos in her time, and she was very into going cruelty free and telling everyone about the importance of staying away from cruelty, of staying away from brands that did animal testing. I wanted to figure out some more about animal testing, and I wanted to see what it was all about, and I read a lot of stuff. So I started going through my makeup collection, and I realized that a lot of my makeup was not cruelty-free. And then I realized that a lot of my favorite brands weren't cruelty-free. After a while, I realized that you could go even further, with skincare, hair care, even cleaning supplies. The thing is, I am not completely cruelty-free. I do not own or buy only cruelty-free brands or products, but I try, and I'm very conscious about it, and I do my best to avoid brands that aren't cruelty-free. I try to encourage other people to do the same. So as I found out what brands were cruelty-free and not, I did some research. I decided to, keep all of my cosmetic that I like to use and just use everything up, and try not to buy brands or products that weren't cruelty-free. So I started researching, and it exists a bunch of different cruelty-free lists. You could just Google it, and there will be like hundreds of lists to choose from, and you will very quickly see that the lists are not identical. A lot of people, they don't agree on some of the brands, and then you have so many factors that play in. For instance, if a company is cruelty-free, but they might be owned by a company that isn't cruelty-free, like L'Oreal has a lot of brands under them, if that makes any sense, that are cruelty-free. But since L'Oreal isn't cruelty-free, I kind of consider them not to be cruelty-free. Yeah, I'll give you some examples. Mainly, I have been looking at at these lists. Also watched a lot of YouTubers, watched a lot of comments to these lists, and just made my own lists. Just for what feels right for me. So yeah. So and let me just say that the status of these brands change so fast. For the longest time, NYX was my favorite makeup brand, and I have so many products from their range, or from their collection, but it turns out NYX is not cruelty free as far as I know. They were bought up from L'Oreal, and which kind of makes them not cruelty free, at least in my head. So you kind of just have to keep looking and researching all the time, because the statuses change just so often. So there might be a brand that you think is cruelty free, and then it turns out not to be. So let me just say, before I give you this list, look at the date of this video, because it might be completely outdated in like a week or so. Or maybe I have the wrong information as well, because I'm no expert on this, and so you can never be too sure. Even after I made this list, I had to take away some of the names that I had originally written, because it turned out they weren't cruelty free after all. And then as I was researching, I did end up finding a lot of, or some new brands through new YouTubers that I started watching. I made a list of brands that I know are good, or that I want to try products from, or that I have a lot of products from. So there's Bite Beauty. As far as I know, they're cruelty free. I really want to try their lipsticks. BH Cosmetics, Everyday Minerals, Face Atelier, yeah, whatever. Jane Iredale. Then I did write Milani and Jordana, but I'm not too sure about their status anymore. People are saying so many different things, so if you know anything about that, please just write me a comment down below. Then The Balm, which is awesome. I love that The Balm is cruelty free. I originally wrote Rimmel, which is one of my favorite brands, but they're not cruelty free anymore. Anastasia, Too Faced, awesome. Lily Lolo and Pixie. Inglot, which has become one of my favorite brands as well because of their eyeshadows. I originally wrote Bourjois, but as far as I know, they're owned by Chanel, so for me, they're not cruelty free anymore, which sucks. Then Isadora, Gosh, Makeup Store, Makeup Academy, Islip's Face, Physicians Formula, Real Techniques, Hourglass, Sonia Kashuk, Soya, Essence, Catrice, Berry M. I originally wrote NARS, but they're not. Sigma. I did write Kat Von D, but nope. And then I found two new brands that I have never heard of before, but they're called Pumpkin and Poppy and Pacifica. So I really want to try them out. I have now bought a perfume from Pacifica that I am loving, so can't wait to try out these new brands. I know there's a lot of a lot more brands than these, but I have written these on my list because these are brands that, you know, I want to try out or I have a lot of products from and are easy to get for me because I live in Norway. So if you want me to do a video on, you know, cruelty-free alternatives when it comes to different makeup products like primer, foundation, concealer, bronzer, blush, eyeshadows, mascara, and so on, let me know because I would love to do that. And also I want to mention some YouTubers that I really like that are cruelty-free. Not many YouTubers are, as far as I can see. I mean, the majority of the beauty community on YouTube is not cruelty-free. So it's really hard to find good YouTubers that are. And I just want to mention Inspired Mom 824. I really like her. The Bubblegum Princess is one of the more popular ones. Miss Ivy Beauty. She's very quiet, but I love her. I love her personality, but I still really like her. Exo Love Letty. Yeah, she's one of the one that I'm watching. And then Jennifer Lovebug is probably my favorite among the cruelty-free YouTubers. She's really sweet and she kind of has the same taste in makeup as I do. So mainly I just wanted to do this video just to focus a little bit more on this subject because I feel like it's so important. And even though I'm not completely cruelty free, and I know that probably a lot of you aren't, and I just want you to go check it out, go read some of these lists, go see in your makeup collection, just become a little bit more aware of it. There's just so many other ways to test out an ingredient in a makeup product that I just feel like it's unnecessary to test it on animals. So if you think about it, really, it's very selfish of us girls and guys to wear makeup if makeup that you know has made an animal hurt. So yeah, that's all I wanted to say in this video. I hope you like this, and I hope to see you again in my next one. Bye!